is long since shattered, but hope still flickers in our darkest dreams. Few would guess that our fate would be decided upon the Oneric Isles, an almost forgotten archipelago of the southern Sky Realms. On these uncanny islands, the apostatic Union, power-drunk after slaughtering their once exalted gods, maintains but a paltry presence. Under their negligent gaze, the deep forests and dark places teem with cutthroats, cultists, and worse. In the desolate, endless realm, poor souls languish undying in decrepit mausoleums, yearning for their lost mortality, while the Clockwork Kingdom, ruled by the crooked logic of its manufactured monarch, strives to transform not just the realm, but reality itself. All these regions have their part to play in this unfolding story, but it begins fathoms below, in the Underlands, a ruinous wasteland where none can draw breath for long. It is here that a secret waits to be uncovered by someone whose dreams burn brighter than any. But will those dreams kindle into a radiant destiny, or will we burn in the folly of delusion?
Cool. Welcome to Cathedral Gaming. This is going to be the first thing we're recording, and hopefully we'll grow. This is a game that I know quite literally nothing about. It came out about a month ago. I had forgotten it had released about a month ago, so we're playing up, trying to catch up. The only thing I really know about this is that it's sort of supposed to evoke memories of Morrowind, which is a game that I played the first time about 20 years ago, and enjoyed. So hopefully we're hoping we can sort of rekindle that. To be fair, from what I've seen some screenshots, it doesn't look... The retro style they've gone for makes it look older than Morrowind does. Because Morrowind was trying to look nice. It never, in my opinion, it really did. Even when it first came out in 2002, it never looked that good a game visually. But again, that said, the scale is what sort of covers that, right? But we'll see. But again, the key thing is going in blind. Yeah, so we'll get started and see what happens. So, we're gonna snot and cutscenes.
The world was long ago broken, its surface cursed. You are a dweller of the Sky Realms, drifting islands that cradle the last of human civilization. Here, in the dank cell of an Inquisition ship, you ruminate on your past. Dreams of childhood slip through your mind. Was your fate sealed, even then?
Okay, so again, going at this blind, but generally speaking, in these games, I generally gravitate towards melee characters, but we'll see. So Brawler, the ideal of battle captivates you, as it always has. You started by smashing sticks before long you were clashing swords. There were never any question you were a fighter through and through. +2 might increase your maximum health, governs common skills of attack and defense. Bitchin', growing up you were nobody, just a malnourished child, clogging the city. Without the street gang, you would have died like the rest. They taught you to see what others didn't, to slip in where others couldn't. They taught you to survive. So basically, melee, thief. Apprentice is a child of a remarkable promise. From an unremarkable family, your parents sold you to a passing scholar. Your youth was spent copying tomes till your hands bled, but what you read, you do not forget. And then last we got Noble, a child of noble birth. You were dining with foreign dignitaries before you could walk. You learned manners and etiquette, but more than anything, tenacity. For the glittering halls of Eovia can be more cutthroat than the darkest valleys. Okay, so basically we've got bonuses to strength, I'm going to say dexterity, lack of description. Wisdom. So we got basically melee, thief, mage, and charisma builds. Let's go with noble.
The body grew, the mind sharpened. For a while, you excelled.
So we're basically doing the Bannerlord thing, or the Mountain Blade thing of sort of stages of life, right? So, bow to Counselor to improve your, much to your family's chagrin. You sought the base through combat. You enroll as an infantry counselor, honing your skills in both swordplay and debate. For the Apostolic Union, elections are decided by both. Apostolic. Sorry. Different world. Plus 20 attack, increases damage done with all physical weapons. Noble Thief. Though your family kept up appearances, their coffers are empty. You embrace a dubious morality, stealing from the dinners and balls you're invited to. At first, it was just the odd goblet, but you performed ever more nefarious heists. Swing lockpick increases the chances. We know what that does. Cultist, while others attended parties, your head was buried in dusty tomes. You amassed a great library, frequenting bookshops and lectures. But people whispered that your tastes were unsavory. You sought banned texts and occult grimoires. Socialite. You shunned the professions of esteem, choosing instead the life of a socialite. You graced parties in Vienna, Bayonne, and Lundell, where wine and gossip flowed. Your family's money bought you much. The flash of your smile bought you more. I'm kind of liking the idea of the occultist. Like, it's completely fine. I kind of like the idea of being the in sort of playing a playstyle I wouldn't necessarily normally play. There is a for hominids out there. There is a in the original Troll Slayer book, which effectively is a compilation of short stories. There is one in there about a basically noble wastrel who and it's immediately what we just think of. So I think we might do this.
Cracks showed. Your guard slipped. The mistake was grave. The Inquisition had your scent.
Okay, cool. So I do hope, again, we haven't gone through these, but I do sort of hope these sort of build up based on what your selections, right? So again, we're cultist, Grudge Breaker. You train for one of the most important elections in the Apostolic Union. Such events are bloody and brutal, but in the end, your battle council was found guilty of landing you in a jail cell. A disgraced family member of a noble family can bring a life of privilege, but when such family falls from grace, they can fall hard. Your family was hunted and killed for their crimes, and you alone managed to flee. Plus 20 agility. Be used Sealcaster. Spellcasting was always a favorable pursuit, and you entertained and impressed many, but you fell foul of the law when you accidentally made the clothes of a whole town disappear, leaving its people stark naked. Merchant, skilled in commerce, you established a network of shops, even bought a merchant airship of your own, but when the artifacts of god worship were found in your warehouse, the Inquisition detained you. So in terms of the fact that we're sort of a nobleman who's sort of into the occult, right? I kind of like one of these three, right? Not really that interested in election rigging because we don't really know enough about how that works, but it's sort of combat oriented, right? Disgraced family, you sort of have the idea that we got caught and we've run. Skilled caster, we have this sort of again we're playing around with what we're learning, right? And merchant, I kind of like the idea of so because you're if you're trying to sort of learn as much as you could about the occult without getting noticed, it would make sense to have sort of great sort of merchant sort of empire where things can flow under sort of without suspicion, right? I'm trying actively not to go metagaming because a merchant, generally speaking, most of these games barter sucks. after a bit. Let's go spellcaster. Let's pretend we use what we've learned, right? Okay. So we're in a cell. We move very slowly, which I suspect is probably Morrowind influence. And we've got, I'm assuming that's health, mana, and stamina. In fact, actually, in terms of art style, it just occurred to me, it looks a lot like Gerberden. Kind of. I'm assuming this sort of letterboxing here is actually a stylistic effect. But I find some money, some more. Oh. Some of this, yeah. Prisoner 17. You've been marked for temporary release. The High Confessor will see you in the central chamber. Do not keep her waiting. Why am I being released? Actually, who are you? I was a prisoner like you, but the Inquisition and its generosity has made me so much more. Cipher magic runs through my veins. My sins have been cleansed. I'm a servant of the Inquisition now. So 40k. Basically, we have a cyber cherub. Yes. Yeah. Why am I being released? Only the High Confessor can answer that, but I calculate there is an 8 in 10 chance you will be granted the honor of glorious and sanctifying death. That's the last thing you to say. I do kind of wish it would do the let us choose other options. I'm not sure we're going up here. We're fine. Rice lodges on unsettled legs, thick blood oozing from its seams with each shuddering movement. A woman's voice, hoarse and raspy, echoes from within the device. Your services are required, Prisoner 17. I'm not gonna take orders from a coffin. A cackle light is a spinner. The Iron Covenant is an honor. This Iron Covenant is an honor, privilege. The pain it delivers only serves to sharpen my reason. Your base crimes against the Apostolic Union will not merit. Would not merit such exquisite torment. But I can offer you redemption of a different kind. I am the High Confessor of this Inquisition Combat Tribunal. We're tracking the most dangerous of criminals, and you will help us. How exactly? Our targets whereabouts have been known for some time. A backward archipelago on the very fringes of Union territory. Known as the Oneric Isles, these flying islands are host to a manor of outcasts. We should be to all manor. Host to a manor of outcasts and miscreants. We arrived a few hours ago, but met with fierce resistance. Our target is the Blinding Light Fortress, the last remaining holdout of the Dark Star mercenaries. For our quarry is the leader, the notorious Vela Kalus. Never heard of her. She's the daughter of Admiral Kalus, groomed for command, but she set off on her own to found a warband of thieves and pirates. The Dark Stars were tolerated within the Union until Vela became enthralled with delusions of grandeur, claimed she would create some sort of heaven. Before you go, take this Inquisition journal. The mechanical arm thrusts a peculiar voice in your direction. Will help keep track of your mission. My drones can offer guidance and closer to the blinding light. Inquisitor Ingivarus I can assist you further. Oh, and don't try to run. These flying islands are unstable, and many have fallen to their death. Yeah, anything else? No, you're not. Oh. Okay. So, we know about. I'm assuming this is a different service call. Damage doors can be broken with a weapon. The chest next to me, pick up the sword, then press the inventory key from your journal. Navigate to the equipment panel and the sword into one of your weapon slots. Lastly, remember to press the attack key to unholster your weapon. Though this is a meager task, I calculate there is 1 in 20 chance you will somehow perish in the attempt. Oh, and I'm going to assume that I is inventory. I is not inventory. Tab is inventory because we're following the control scheme for Morrowind. Yes. I assume there's a spell slot. Potions, I'm guessing. No. Oh yeah, easel. There you go. Weirdly, one of the things with Morrowind that sort of they dumb down afterwards, is sort of a distinct lack of sort of varied armor setups, right? Delusions. Belief is everything. As your delusions grow, so does your power. Find enough glimmers of delusion by exploring the world or completing quests, and they will grant a full delusion. Delusions can be spent to increase one of your core attributes. So basically, delusions levels. Cool. Might is how strong we are. Guile is how stout. Well, how cunning we are, I suppose. Wisdom is how smart we are, and persona is how basically gives how well we can influence people. High law. Anyway, pretty yeah. It's damage 1. It's presumably just perks, right? I don't know what this is. Oh, that makes those be snapped. And I've got a quest log. And we need to find Max. Cool. So, with that said, monies. Now, how do I... Potion restores your health. This potion is brewed from the eye of Behegoth herb and hasten the body's restorative functions. It is prescribed by most doctors one of the few treatments that docs so that it does more good than harm. Useful in spells. Spells and quick items equipped in the equipment menu before use. Once equipped, press spell to use spells and item to use items. Using scroll to equip items. Which items? Spell. 2 seconds, I'm just going to kick my cat out. Alright, sorry about that. We now have no distractions. Cool. So, let's work out what the keys are. Controls. So, movement, sad, space, actions, E, attack. Hold or tap the left mouse button. Spells right mouse button. Items is R. Lock is F. Switch ones hold or tap Q. Switch item Z. So, really kind of. Okay, cool. We'll hit that. We'll hit inventory. I won't because it's a tab. We'll go. That's cool. Ready. So. I'm doing my head on some of the angles of these stairs. I mean, they look kind of weirdly realistic, but at the same time, as far as games go, it's very off. Well, mana potion does mana potion things. Okay, and holding Q, okay, rather put Nobody loves Iron Maidens. For the bow. Zoe, here's your High Confessor since you're off today. A gentle laugh seems to echo around you. My, you won't get far if that is the case. He gazes into the distance. All stranger, you'd best watch yourself out there. Mark my word, something's brewing in these islands. The stage is set. The curtain's drawn. And the performance is set to bring the house down. He smacks at you, and something tells me you have your own role to play. Like that. I'm the PC! Feels very 90s right now. Very knife. A well-balanced steel knife designed to be thrown. In Sliv, thieves and thugs like to coat the blade with Jitterseed extract for additional sting. Is that a... I'm gonna keep trying to hit I. So thrown weapons. Skills. There are a number of skills that determine your effectiveness in certain tasks. There are some active skills such as lockpick or lore that let you interact with objects in the world. Others are passive skills such as defense and regen. Skill can be improved by increasing the Delusion attribute that governs it, or special equipment. Okay, so we're not learning through doing, as we would in, say, money. Let's not go over here yet. Let's run over the other side here. Let's see. Okay, cool. So let's make sense of that. Delusion attributes. There are 40. Let's cover this already. Cool. a training tutorial of a fighting tutorial. Stamina potion, result stamina. Oh. Air. What is this? I'm gonna assume that some it is. Not really. Okay. The race is patrolled by Dark Star mercenaries. I strongly recommend sneaking through the mushrooms to avoid combat. It's not that I doubt your skills, prisoner 17. I simply calculate a 3 in 5 chance you will die horribly. Remember, direct conflict is usually avoidable, but be on the lookout for ways to sneak past tough. Blocking has a swing sound. Yay. In many cases, combat is avoidable. Press crouch to, yeah, like that. I get it. The letterboxing is your crouch indication. It's fine. But I don't see any sort of real indication to indicate, like, all stealth. Which is one nice thing about, well, not so much Morrowind, but the later Elder Scrolls games, they're very good at telling you whether you're hidden or not. You. Oh. Okay, you're... I've been thinking it's like, we're gonna have to go hunting through these things for weeds, but nope. A really obvious tree. That's something. We get another one. Nope. Okay, so we've got a couple of choices here. We can either try to go and explore the other side. I think just to be on the safe side, see if we can miss anything. Because again, we're getting rewarded by exploring in principle, right? So if we're trying to get these, if we're trying to get the evidence of delusion, or it's called, we may as well try to focus on these. Start. Them. I'm not afraid of them. I mean, assume we're hitting up this castle. We've got a fort. Not really context there. Ruined village. This is very keen on using throwing knives, which I haven't touched and don't necessarily have any great desire to use in the short term. So Important questions. Can we swim? Yes, we can. This is worth a try. If they can hurt anything, they'll be near something hidden in a waterfall. So tried that. Never found anything. Okay. Dude over there, and there's some money in front of them. It's on. Okay, so that wasn't anywhere near as difficult as they suggested it was going to be. Which is fair. I mean, again, this is the start, but I wasn't expecting this completely. It's not like I'm into submission. And indeed get all the things we want. I am one of those people who will. Where's going to fire him anyway? Going to demoralize me. So, Aeration is dying, but they may still be of use. You may have the charm to gain their trust. The agent may take some convincing. You've been a prisoner for some time. I can no longer smell. There is a high possibility that you emit a foul stench. Success relies on your charm skill, which is derived from your persona attribute. So, are you one of the locals? He looks up. Disgust. Look, just leave me be. I've failed the Inquisition. I'd rather die in peace. Chow had helped the Inquisitor's house to the capturing of Belarus. Oh my, I recognize you now. You're one of the prisoners. Gods, the Inquisitor must be ready to. You know you're going to die, right? Those bastards wiped out the whole echelon. If you insist on this fool's errand, you might find some supplies at my crash drop pod. Follow the river upstream, you should find it. By the waterfall. We've already been there. We've already stolen your stuff. Cool. So we've sort of already done what you want me to do. Nice one, lockpicking tutorial. Yeah. Okay, so we're a lockpick. Right. To progress, you must unlock this door. You will need a lockpick to begin. You should find an ample supply next to me. When picking a lock, there is always a chance you will fail and the lockpick will break. Pick lock more easily, increase your lock skill. Mechanical locks are not the only security measure you will come across. There's an art to disguising secrets through magical means. This is where the law skill comes in, I guess. There's a thingy over here. Shooting potion. Oh, the shielding his armor. Good to know. Not particularly exciting. Is the bush we can. No, it's not. Cool. So let's give what we can go. So Oh, okay, so it's just a random roll. That's kind of lame. Interesting. Okay. In this room, the candlesticks on the wall have been enchanted to seal a secret passageway. To dispel them, you will need enough lore skill. The incantation will also deplete your mana slightly. A single passageway will need several a single passageway may need several switches, so be mindful of your surroundings. No. The door you told me was going to open is open. I'm going to assume we get... yeah, we go. Over. What do you want? Status. Your current status is represented by 3 stats. Health, stamina, mana, stamina. To restore your status, rest in a bed order. Okay, so we do have resting in this. Oh. So I have no idea what these buttons are. I'm gonna assume they're important. There's gonna be tutorials on them, but the game, we know they're looking. What? I think this far that's sort of the weirdest is how they've done smoke. Must As you approach, the Inquisitor takes in a deep breath of air. You smell that, prisoner? 17? Suppose there is a hint of that. But I was actually thinking about mushroom spores. He turns to you, beaming a smile across his face. I've never seen this many mushrooms in my life. Such wide stalks, such healthy gills. He takes a long breath. And such potent spores. We have mushroom forests back home in Lundell, but nothing like this. He wags a finger at you while turning his gaze back to the mushrooms. Prisoner 17, if you get back alive, remind me to get a batch of Scryshroom tea for my wife. They make it here in the Oneric Isles, and I fear it's to die for. Sorry, and I hear it's to die for. Who are you? Where are my owners? The person we got sent to find at the 12th Inquisitorial Tribunal. Please make your acquaintance. Shake his hand firmly. I see our company, prisoner. That's the Blinding Light. That's the Blinding Light, the fortress of Vela Kalus, leader of the Dark Soul Mercenaries. The High Commander told me you'd be joining the assault, and not a moment too soon. We need all the help we can get. We've seen all my agents. I've seen all my agents, but so far none are reported back. We expected heavy fighting, but it seems those Darkstar ruffians are tougher to punch than we gave them credit for. Your orders are to capture Vela alive. A tall order, I'll admit, but I think you're up to the job, prisoner. So many questions? How do I get to the Blinding Light? Why, you see that great big cannon looming over here? That's part of the Blinding Light Fortress, and that's where you need to get to. Just stride on that main gate, making sure to slay any pesky Darkscars that get in your way. Once you're in the compound, find a lift mechanism that will take you up to the battlements. That's where Vela has been holed up. So I can avoid bloodshed. The sneaky sort, are we? Well, you're in luck. My agents reported there is a side entrance to the right of the fortress that leads into a maintenance tunnel of some sort. I'm sure the Dark Stars laid plenty of traps, but surely nothing you couldn't disarm with a deft hand, eh? Once you're inside, you should try to avoid detection by keeping to the walls. These old Gadwar forts have plenty of nooks and crannies, so just he puts things like, keep quiet and out of sight. Yes. What if I want to practice my combat skills? Well, we established a small boot camp of sorts just here. Always make sure to remind my combat echelon of the fundamentals before a trick mission. So you'll find plenty of target enemies and tutorial signs just below. I need to know more about Vela in this mission. Yes, I'm sure you have plenty of questions. What do you want to know? Tell me about Vela and his access. Vela Kalus. Now that's a name that'll make hairs stand on end. She's the daughter of old Admiral Kalus of the Apostolic Union Navy, but instead of following in her father's footsteps, she founded the most accomplished mercenary band since the God War. Sure, she's currently the most wanted criminal in the Union, but you've got to hand it to her. For years, the Union itself relied on Vela and her Dark Stars to do the jobs the Navy were unwilling or unable to do themselves. It's a pity she turned down such a dark path. In the later years of the Dark Stars, their number of villainous deeds far exceeded those of noble intent. What of the Dark Stars villainy then? Well, there was the Astral College heist beyond, where they made off with the Artifice Star, among other priceless treasures. Then there was the sinking of the merchant freighter Popinjay, and all those hostages slaughtered in the siege of Saracolo, and I could go on. In the end, they say she lost the plot, started yammering about some sort of heaven. The Inquisition ruled that this was tantamount to cultism. Article 62 claims of 112 claims of religious nature and warranted her arrest. Of course, I think the polymaths over Riva had wanted her gone long before all this got too big for her boots, and finally they had their warrant. Even Vela's own mercs got so riled up they mutinied against her. He's been hiding out here for years, but the Inquisition finally got the go-ahead to make a move, so here we are. Why using prisoners like me? Because rigorous labor is a tonic for the ills of one's mind. We're not like the common judiciary back in the Union homeland, where prisoners are thrown in a pit with a scrap of moldy bread, no matter their crime. We recognize the twisted intellect of our guests, and if we can untwist that reason with the right application of punitive employment, we will have enlightened the world just a little. We're also authorized to use any method at our disposal when a mission is going. How do they say it in Slev? Adazot? Think of the High Confessor. Many in the Inquisition think it is a travesty that a confessor, that is, a prisoner still serving their penance, has been granted control of an entire tribunal. Normally, it would be the job of the High Inquisitor. Indeed, there's also the nature of her crimes and how they relate to the very criminal she has been tasked. And how they relate to the very criminal she's been tasked to apprehend. But personally, I think despite her quirks, she's proved herself as one of the most accomplished agents within our ranks. About the mission. Splendid. Was there anything else? Okay. That's a spirit prisoner. I'm sure you'll make short work of those ruffians. And when you're done, make sure to check in with me after the mission. I've taken quite an interest in these Onieric Isles of late, and I'm sure you can fill in with plenty of useful tidbits. And smack. So, the real question becomes, how do we get where he wants me to go? I suspect there's a gate that's opened. Yeah, there is. So at this point we saw okay. This base camp was used as staging ground by our Inquisition agents. It was highly useful for them to brush up on their skills before they all went and got themselves slaughtered by villainous mercenaries. We would recommend using the training dummies to practice your swordplay. It may marginally increase the time between now and your inevitable demise. Okay, so see your beds. Beds are unsafe. Crystal points. Crystal points restore your mana. Use the home spell to return to the last crystal point visited. You'll also appear in the last used crystal point when loading the game. Oh, return home. Teleportation spell that transfer casts the last crystal point touched. Wellies, where scholars some still prefer to walk and claim the chance of being incorrectly teleported off a cliff is not negligible. Also off a spell. Stamina. Your attack damage depends on your current stamina. The lower your stamina, the less damage you'll do. Your maximum stamina will also deplete slowly over time. If it reaches half its original value, you will become fatigued, temporarily reducing all stats. Maximum stamina can be restored by sleeping in a bed or using a stamina potion, which is what they're wanting us to do now. Yes. What do you want? Blocking and parrying. Holding block to reduce incoming enemy damage. If you time a block just as the enemy attack lands, you will parry it. Successful parries negate all damage and will stagger the enemy. Blocking and parrying are not possible when your stamina is empty. Okay, so basically, I'm bad at parrying. Okay, that's fine. We will rest in order to do what it wants me to do, which is to sleep. I think there's different times of day. I haven't known what the time is, so we'll just go with that one. Looks approximately the same time of day. It's fine, we have rested and recovered. See that looming fortress? It's stuck fair into the hearts of many who are braver and stronger than you, stranger. It was made in the God War, so the apostates named it the blinding light to ridicule the gods they planned to butcher. Ironic that it should still fall in the hands of someone who... Ironic that it should fall into the hands of someone so blinded by ambition and zeal, for Vela has claimed it in pursuit of her own twisted heaven. And the blinding light now turns its guns towards the faithless scouts who made it. Sorry, faithless souls who made it. Tell me, stranger, if a hated enemy stood between you and your most cherished ideal, would you strike them down? Would you have the arrogance to take a life in pursuit of your fantasy? We're going to say yes because we like the occult. At least you're the honest sort, and you're hardly alone. The sky realms are tainted with the blood of those who stood on the wrong side of history. Even the gods prove fallible in the end. Still, I fear that in a world like this, such a heart will only see you dead in the gutter by the sword of someone far less scrupulous. What are you? Alright, you're one of the sentinels. Okay, cool. So, what we're going to do here, I think, is we're actually going to drop a pause and come back in a second here. So, till next time, thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you later.